Right, hi guys. I don't know how this is going to turn out. This is the first time I've done anything like this. But here goes. I was asked to do a little bit of a review for one of the other guys that's thinking of purchasing this. And here it is. The little QX-90. So, I don't do unboxing. Comes reasonably well packed in this little foam styrofoam thing. Box, usual fare from Banggood. Comes with a little pack of goodies, a spare motor for, I'm assuming one's clockwise, one anti-clockwise, and a spare set of props. The props are my least favourite thing. I've just had a little fly with it. It flies great, it really does. But I also purchased 10 sets of these from Banggood. I can't remember the price, but they were for peanuts. And these seem to fit better than the stock props, which just seem to fly off. You wind up the power and they just go fizz, hit the ceiling, float back down, and you put them back on and they do the same. So that's my least favourite thing. I also bought 2 of these little nanotechs. You can see there, little nanotechs. They're 600 milliamp, one cell, 3570C. I can't remember what they were made for. They were made for something else, and they were really cheap, like £2 a piece. So I got a couple of them, and I also got some of these graphines. Now these are the better ones. These are, what are they now? They're 750 milliamps, and they are 65C. So a lot more punch. Probably a little bit heavier, but as you'll see, they're pretty similar and they fit in the exact same spot. They're just a little bit deeper, but they are more milliamps, and you're going to get longer flight times out of them. That's all good. So these, not so good. They're a little bit long. You've got to get the balance right. I'm not as keen on them, but I'll be able to use them, and they're all right. One thing worth of note: the the wires that came with these. This is a stock graphene, and that's a stock plug, which is fine. However, the little plug that was on the quadcopter, the pins, the polarity was reversed. So basically, the red was on the black was on the red. So if I'd have plugged this brand new graphene straight into the flight board, I would have definitely popped it. So just bear that in mind. Now obviously the batteries that came with it, they're fine, but I don't want to have to use these all the time, and if I buy any more at any point, I don't want to have to start messing around. I won't be buying the stock batteries again. If I buy any more, it'll be some more of these graphines. So I cut, luckily I had some of the other pins, I cut them off and soldered another connector on, which is obviously right polarity now. Positive to positive, negative to negative. The other way, they wouldn't have been. So it's just worth of note. If I hadn't have plugged it into the charger and the charger dinged on these, plugged this into my charger with the little connector that I made, and the connector flipped up reverse polarity, I would have possibly put my graphines in and popped it. So I was lucky. So just bear that in mind. Also, the little connector, obviously it was bent down in the packaging, and the little solder round had come off. So I had to take this off to do the solder joint there. and put another one of these connectors on. Luckily, I got some connectors from Hobby King UK when I purchased the batteries, so worth sticking a couple of bags of male and female in your thing if you're going to get some batteries. Anyway, so I resoldered the little joints that had gone on round there onto the back of the video transmitter, and then I put some hot glue around it just to strengthen it, because obviously it's going to get dropped, and it dropped a few times. My little transmitter thing is bent to hell because I've got a laminate floor everywhere around, and these props kept flying off. So I've taken them all off and pushed some of these other little bags of props on. So I've got plenty on, so I've banged them on and just had a couple of flights, and all seems good with that. So, dead easy to set up. Usual thing anyone with a quadcopter is going to know. All you do is plug it into your little micro USB port. It just goes in there, like that. Plug that into your computer, go into clean flight, set it up how you want it. I've got the usual stuff that I have in my other quadcopters. Gear arms it, and my 3-position switch goes for self-level, horizon, and seeing as this doesn't have a beeper, and you're not generally going to take it very far outside anyway to lose it, I've got acro on the other. I'm not sure if I'll try acro, and definitely not yet, but it flies pretty well as it stands. So I've not messed with any of the gains. It's all on stock settings or whatever it is. I may well do that at some point. As been mentioned before, it needs your Tyrannus. If you're using a Tyrannus in a D8 mode, I haven't got a Tyrannus. I've got my old 9XR, and I've got a XJT module in the back, Free Sky. So I don't know if you can see the way I've got my dip switches set, but it's set for the D4 R2 receivers. I don't use the X series with the S-Bus. I personally don't know the difference. I know a lot of people say, oh yeah, it's much faster response. Well, maybe they can tell. I wouldn't know, I haven't tried, but I'm fine with these. So anyway, set the way that is. Set it to bind. Press the bind button and plug it in the usual affair, and it binds straight away. Again, it's dead easy. So, what's it like? Well, like a little quadcopter. There you go. The picture, for some reason, on that is shocking. But yet, I don't know why that is. I really do not. I know I don't, this is a bit overkill, I don't need the other. But I hope you can see in there. It's fine actually through my goggles. It's perfect picture. But yet, that one, I've got all them funny lines. I really don't know what's going on with that. Maybe something's not quite right there. I know my receiver's getting pretty hot. Anyway, I'll sort that at some late stage. So yeah, the picture's great, and she flies pretty well. I'm going to blow everything off here. I'm going to do this. So let me just move these. Oh yeah, you get a decent little instruction booklet. I haven't messed with the dip switches, I just found the channel that it's on for the picture wise. left it at that. So here we go. Hopefully you'll be able to pick this up. So you noticed it's red, and when you hit arm, she goes blue, or blue and red, and then you just crank up the throttle. And it's pretty easy to fly around. And she flies pretty steady, and I think I didn't time it, but I got about 5 or 6 minutes out of the graphene messing around. I will put my timer on for the next charge. And that's how you break it. Does she still fly? Oh, got my wire stuck. There you go. I've bent the antenna again a little bit, but I think it's just going to happen, and I can always replace that. I've got a load of damaged antennas about. I'm not sure whether it's even worth recording anything on this thing. I will have a go though, and if I do, I'll put some of that footage up as well, but I'm not actually sure that it's going to be watchable if it's actually recording that. So there we go. Pretty tough little thing. I don't know how people will say it compares to, obviously the benchmark is the little tiny whoop. Again, I would have thought for this one you can get some more powerful motors if you want, but this will be fine for me. Just messing around in the house when the weather's sort of bad. The motors get warm. I was quite surprised at that. Anything else I can say? I really can't understand why you can get a picture like that and then a picture like that. Something around my base station must be upset. I don't know what it is, but I will have to investigate. Anyway, so there she is, the little the QX-90 tiny FPV quadcopter bind and fly, the bind and fly version. So if anybody's thinking about doing it, I think they're about £53 on Banggood, and for the money, you know, with a couple of batteries, the leads and these props, probably about another £10 or £15 on that. So she's coming in at under £70, ready to go like that. So you can't really grumble. I've got 6 batteries now, and the batteries charge up in about 5 or 10 minutes. Particularly the graphines, which are I see you can charge them. You probably charge them at easy on for one of them, sort of 1.5 C. Probably go higher, but personally I wouldn't. So yeah, there we go. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye bye for now.